Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about the hiding spots in Atlantis, starting from hunter spawn to hider spawns. Basically, all the different hiding spots you can see along this route, right? We love routes, right? So basically, along this route, right? So basically, we are going to look at all the different hiding spots from hunter spawn to hider spawn, right? So starting at hunter spawn, we have these cakes. Just memorize that there's a total of 4 cakes because we like memorizing things, right? So 4 cakes. Now over here we have a few block piles in this room. I'm going to start with the block piles underneath the staircase. As for the cakes, well, it turns out the way I like to think of it is there's a total of 5 cakes here, and if there's a cake at this specific location, well, then it forms the fish structure. As you can see, it forms a fish if there's a cake in this specific location. So it makes it really easy to memorize that. Right, another spot you'll commonly find a cake is hiding right here. So again, if you ever see 6 cakes, it would have to be a cake. As for the furnaces, it sort of forms a sideways staircase with 2 extra furnaces right here. That's the way I like to think about it. Right, you could also see a furnace in this spot where the cake was. Right, if you ever see the furnace stack squared off like this, or squared off right here, that would be fake. Right, sometimes you'll find a furnace on top of the stack like this, and sometimes a furnace on the right side of the stack over here. That would be fake. Right, that's basically it. Right, next we're going to talk about the cauldrons and the flower pots. Flower pots are pretty easy because there's basically a total of 5 flower pots, but I like to think of it as if the flower pots almost form a straight diagonal line. The only difference is that this flower pot is moved over to the left by 1, right? This flower pot were right here, it would form a straight diagonal line, but, you know, it's just offset. Basically a total of 5 flower pots. Pretty easy to memorize. As for the cauldrons, many different ways you can think about it. I like to think of it as if, you know, you should never see 3 cauldrons in a row or 4 cauldrons in a row, right? In this case, there's 3 cauldrons in a row, so it's fake. In this case, there's also 3 cauldrons in a row, as you can see, it's fake. Also, in this case, you have 4 cauldrons in a row, that would be fake. Sometimes you will find 2 and 2, like this. Notice 2 in a row, 2 in a row. This would be a fake cauldron. It's pretty easy to memorize. You just sort of think of it that way. Okay, going to this TNT stack, there's a few spots you can see. Notice there's a hole right here a TNT can hide. You should memorize that. And in either one of these 2 spots, you can see a TNT hide. So either one of those 2 spots. Pretty common. So you might see that happen in this game, right? Because this game is so alive right now. So it's so important that you memorize this stuff, right? I like that. That was good. Also, 3 in a row. It's fake. Alright, and if you see a TNT right here, it's fake. Alright, those are basically the only important spots I would mention for it, though. As for the cauldrons, right, what you have to realize is that, for the most part, cauldrons like to hide inside of cauldrons, or flower pots inside of cauldrons like this. Usually in the back, like this. So again, it might be a little difficult to see them, but, you know, for the most part, you'll see something like that. Right, also, there's a hole right here, a hider can hide in. So you could see a cauldron hiding in this hole. Right. Sometimes you'll see a cauldron hiding on the left side of the stack like this. So as you can see, 4 diagonal in a row that would be fake. Right? Or a cauldron on the right side of the stack like this. And this slot would be fake. Not as common to find hiders hiding by the cauldrons, though. Going over here, well, we're heading deeper into this, right? You'll find a lot more hiders over here than you will over there, most likely. So, for the cakes, it's just a total of 3 cakes. So if you ever see 4 cakes, for instance, like this, or like this, it would be fake. For the anvils, I don't think they face the same direction, but I believe I've seen it to get corrected. Like, sometimes it will actually correct itself to the right orientation. But the way I like to think about it is I just basically break it up into parts. You have 1 cauldron on the left side, 1 cauldron on the right side. You have a square of cauldrons right here, and you sort of see the letter L with these cauldrons right here. So I just like to memorize those shapes. Square of cauldrons and the letter L, right? So there should never be anything on top of the letter L like this. You should never see 2 cauldrons in a row, 2 cauldrons on top of each other, and again, 2 cauldrons in a row, 2 cauldrons on top of each other. You should never see anything like that. You also shouldn't see anything on top of those. You should never see anything on top of the square of cauldrons either. So pretty easy to memorize. You just gotta sort of memorize it. I like that. That was good. Going to the melons. Oh, the melon's pretty easy. Without this melon, the stack is symmetrical, right? Pretty easy if you just think of it that way. If you have 2 melons on the left side like this, it's fake. So again, it sort of forms a square of melons. That's how you know it's fake. If you ever see 2 melons on top of the stack, it's fake. Another thing is you can sometimes see a melon on the right side of the stack. Well, this makes the stack symmetrical. Like, you can literally see the stack is symmetrical now. Well, that would be fake as well. That's basically it for the melons. And so now we've reached hider spawn, which means we are done, right? Because all we were talking about is the route from hunter spawn to hider spawn. So this is basically it for this video.